Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
You are a member of the Veterans History Project class that's been meeting weekly at El Dorado Park Senior Center West, and today we have the privilege of listening to your story of service to this great country of ours. So good morning. It is Tuesday, September 22nd, 2009. The best place to begin is to ask you where you were born.
I was born in Detroit, Michigan, March 16th, 1926.
Okay. And how did your family come to live in Detroit?
Well, my father, Filippo Vaccaro, was born in Partenego, Sicily, and he came to this country when he was 17 years old. With no relatives, all by himself. I can't believe
Wow.
someone at 17 had the courage to do that. But I don't know the reason he was sent here or not. But of course, in those days, you had to have a sponsor, and you went through Ellis Island, and I had the good fortune to go there about 4 years old, and 4 years ago. And my sisters and I had a plaque on the wall with his name on it. And anyway, it was very interesting going through Ellis Island. People had to have $100 with them. They had to have a sponsor here in the United States and maybe a job. So was all prepared for that. And I don't know how he got to Michigan, but anyway, he ended up in Ellis Island.
Now, do you know why he came?
It's never been clear. I don't know if his parents thought it'd be a better place for him. I don't know.
Okay.
I wish I'd asked more questions when I was younger, but I didn't.
Okay, so your father was one of how many children?
I think there were 5 in his family.
And did any of his other siblings come later?
His brother didn't come till the 1960s, late 60s or 70s, and he only came here to visit a few of his children that came to the country.
I see.
So that's the first time I'd met him.
Okay.
And my aunt, his wife. And because one of the siblings had come out, she married somebody from the U.S., and my cousin, my father's niece, married somebody. I guess he went to Italy to get his bride, and they eventually came out here, and so we met them, and then little by little, all my cousins have come out here, and they all live in the San Pedro area, one in San Diego, but I didn't know any of my father's family until then.
I see.
I've never met my paternal grandmother or grandfather.
Oh.
I did, of course, they've since
Were they in
passed on.
Italy?
Sicily.
Yeah, in Sicily.
Partenego is a small town outside of Palermo.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bigger city in Sicily.
Okay.
So,
So,
my beginning.
so do you know how your father did in Detroit? What kind of work he did early on?
My father always had work. He worked in Detroit. He worked for Ford Motor Company.
Okay.
And he worked there until the Depression and the big layoff.
I see.
And
So he went directly to Detroit from New York?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because my mother was born in New York City. Her parents were from Partenego, Sicily. So I can, as far as I can trace back, I'm Italian.
Right.
And so I don't know if they met in New York and how they came to be in Michigan. I don't know if it was for work or what. But
okay.
they got married and lived in Detroit. My sisters were born in Detroit as well, so I guess all their married life they lived there.
I see. Okay.
And so
So,
we came here.
all right, so you were born then in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And at the time, was your father working at...
He was working at the Ford Motor Company.
Okay. And do you have any information on how he met your mother, whether he met her in New York or in...
I'm not sure. Well, I must have been in New York. I must have been. But back then, marriages were arranged. And we met them through, there's a nice Italian girl in this family, and they were introduced. My mom was only 15 when they got married, 14.
I see.
Engaged at 13, 14, and married, and 15, 14. Had her first child at 15. So
Your mother?
My mother. So kids back then didn't have any childhood. They were children and went to adults, no teenage, no middle years. So very responsible people.
Yeah.
But yeah, and my dad was 10 years older than her.
Okay.
So he was mature, but I don't know what the history was before then. I wish I had asked him more questions.
Okay. And you were one of how many?
I have 2 sisters.
And
I'm
were
the youngest
you?
of 3.
Okay. And did you say that, well, they all girls?
Yes,
Okay. And all of you were born in
Michigan.
Michigan?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, what do you remember about your children?
My earliest memory, in fact, I brought a picture because I don't think I would have remembered this without this picture. But I was 4 years old, and my mother and I were visiting a neighbor. My sisters were in school. And in those days, there were a lot of salesmen that came to doors, and this photographer came, and he wanted to take my picture. So this is how this came about. And I remember the dress was a little silk beige dress with red piping. I always noticed clothes. But I'm glad I have this, because otherwise I probably would have forgotten that long ago. My sisters, of course, were in school. And then I do remember starting school. Of course, the winters were very cold, snow, winters, ice, everything. So we used to play on the schoolyard, pull each other along the ice. We didn't have skates or sleds or anything, but we would slide around on our feet and have a lot of fun there. And I do remember kindergarten. We had cloakrooms back there because of the weather. You know, we put our galoshes, raincoats, rain gear, whatever we had, scarves, gloves. And I remember in the summer, I give myself away, I've always loved clothes. In the summertime, I remember looking back in the cloakroom at all these darling little hats that girls wore with a long ribbon, and I always wished I had one. But that was, I remember that. And I also remember one time it was very embarrassing. I must have gotten sick in class, but I remember being sat out in the hall, a chair, and a bucket. And I was so embarrassed by that. So I do remember that, and that's all of the schooling I remember back there. We came to California in 1932.
Well, how old were you at the
I
time?
was 6.
And why did they come to California?
I think, well, my dad was laid off. I'm almost sure. That was the Depression years, and he was laid off. So we had relatives here. I had, on my mother's side, 2 aunts and an uncle. And I guess they wrote and told us how wonderful it was out here. And so we drove across country in that old Model A or Model T. I don't know which it was, but it was not an easy trip. And I don't remember how many days it took. I remember sleeping in the car. I don't think we had enough money to rent motels or anything. And my sister would ride it. We'd take turns riding up front, and the 2 of us would have to ride other trunks in the back seat. So it was not an easy trip. But
well, where did you spend the nights? In the car?
I think in the car. I don't remember ever staying out in the open. I don't know.
Or camped?
I suppose.
Maybe.
I don't remember. I remember the car ride more than anything. It was so miserable. And then we did arrive, and we stayed at my Aunt Jenny's house for a while. She lived in L.A.
In L.A.?
And the city was just so beautiful then. The weather was, we came out in summer, summer vacation, so the weather was quite warm and beautiful. And till we found a place. And I remember the first place we lived in was Compton. It was a very small little one-room place. And lo and behold, 1933, March, I'll never forget it as long as I live, we had a major earthquake.
Yeah.
It hit in Long Beach, so we were hit pretty hard. We were close to Long Beach. And we were in the kitchen, my family and I. My mother had put a big pot of water on the stove, and so we heard this noise and this rumbling, and suddenly that pot fell off the stove, and we screamed. All ran for the door at the same time. So we were really afraid to go back in the house. We didn't know what had happened. We didn't even know, never heard the word earthquake before.
Right.
And so I remember us staying in the car, and then we went to stay with my aunt for a few days. She lived in her area wasn't hit as hard, so that was our first major experience. Not too happy, but that was in '33, as I said.
Right, in March.
And we moved into several places, always small. My sisters and I, we either sleep on the floor or the couch, because we always had one bedroom, but we managed.
Right. Now, did your father find work?
My dad always found work. He was a very ambitious man, and he would do anything for us. And I don't know what he did back then, but I know he had to work. He did find work. And then eventually, after about our third or fourth move, I remember he got into the fruit business. He would drive to Fresno in his old car and get fruit, bring boxes of fruit home. And I remember as kids helping to line them up in boxes. We get paid $0.015 a box for lining up the fruit all in one direction. It all had to look beautiful. And then I remember him selling. He had a little fruit stand on, I think that was Crenshaw, across from the race where the Hollywood racetrack is.
Right.
It was right across there. There was nothing out there. It was all field, but there was traffic. And he had a fruit stand there. And that was the first thing I remember him doing. And then we moved to a house that had a lot and next to it, and he grew vegetables and fruits, and well, mostly vegetables.
Right.
And in the backyard we had chickens, and I think we had a goat at one time. And I'll never forget, my mother was an excellent cook and all, but she used to take those chickens and pull them by the neck to kill them. And oh, jeez, it was awful. And then we'd all have to sit and pluck that chicken. So everything was a lot of work. Nothing came easy, but we were happy. And
so where did you settle down in L.A.? There was a home that you purchased or you rented?
With my family, we always rented. We never owned a home. We lived there on that was on 17th and 33 on Gage Avenue.
Oh yeah.
Close to Western, and we walked everywhere. We had one car, of course, that my dad needed, but we did a lot of walking. I remember my sisters and I walking along Western Avenue, and there was a See's candy place there, I think, where they made candy, and it was fun to watch them. They'd have these slabs of candy.
Yeah.
Remind me of the Lucy show when they had,
Yeah, I remember that.
the candy run. But that was kind of fun, and we did, like I said, a lot of walking. We'd walk to school.
And how was school for you?
Well, when I think my first school was Raymond Avenue, and I don't remember a lot in that first school, except I had a teacher, Miss Garrett. I'll never forget her. For some reason, she used to pick me to rub her neck while she was talking to the class. I'd have to get in front of the class and rub her neck.
Oh, yeah?
How that ever got started.
So you gave her a little massage?
And I was kind of embarrassed, but she always called me up to do that.
As long as she would give you high grades.
I don't remember. But I did it, a little mousy me. I was very quiet and always did what I was told. And then from there, I think I was about 10, we moved to 78th in Vermont. And I remember, of course, I had to go to a new school. I was so afraid of meeting all these new people. But I remember my mother giving me a haircut. She used to make all these beautiful curls on us, but it was just, my hair was too hard to manage. So she cut my hair clear around above my ears. And I looked awful, and I cried. I thought, nobody's going to like me. Anyway, I got through, made a lot of friends there. That was Manchester Avenue School on Manchester and Hoover.
Okay.
And so that was, I think, 5th grade when I started there. So 5th and 6th, and made a lot of friends. And from there, went on to Bret Harte Junior High.
Okay.
We didn't call them middle schools then. We called them junior high. And my greatest, my happiest moment in junior high was when I got on Glee Club. I loved to sing. I always did a lot of singing. I had a pretty soprano voice back then. Now I've had learned jada so many times. I don't. My voice is ruined. But that was wonderful. And in ninth grade, A9, we had a assembly, and I guess our A9 party, I guess we call it. But anyway, in the auditorium, I was chosen out of the Glee Club, and there was a boy chosen out of the Boys Glee Club. His name was Adolph Renzi. They called him Adolph back then. And so we sang the Floridor Sextet. And I was so excited about that because I got to wear such a pretty dress. I have a picture of it somewhere. But it's a pretty long white dress. And that was so exciting to me.
Hold on.
I always enjoyed clothes.
That was what you wore for the performance?
Yeah. And I didn't get it for the performance. I had that because I wore that to my sister's wedding. Right. But at least I had something to wear.
Good. So you were about 14 or 15?
I must have been 14.
Okay. And Adolph
13, almost 14.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we sang together. He was at the Glee Club. And of course we knew each other. We were friends, but there was nothing other than that at the time. And so that was really quite a thrill for me.
Well, before we go on, tell us what classes besides Glee Club did you enjoy in school?
I like math. I'm not really that great at it, but I like math. I like science. I like knowing how things are made and put together.
Good.
And I took sewing classes too. I learned to sew. And I love gym.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about sports.
Gym. I love sports.
Which,
in elementary school, I was really good in baseball and racing. I used to beat all the boys.
Oh.
But by junior high, the kids were all much bigger than they had grown, and I hadn't. So I couldn't compete as well, but I still enjoyed them. But yeah, I love baseball. I was a catcher all the time, and I used to hit the balls way out there. But I was terrible at fielder. I couldn't do very well at the field. But sports, I love ping pong, I love volleyball, I love most everything.
Okay.
Not too good at basketball, it was just too high for me.
Right.
But yeah, I did enjoy sports.
And did you get along with your sisters at home?
Yeah, pretty much. My middle sister, to this day we kid her about it. If ever there was an argument between sisters, it was between my older sister and my middle sister, or me and my middle sister. Oh. My older sister and I always got along, but she was always involved. She was the mouthy one. She still is.
Now, what are their names?
My eldest sister is Mary Ann. Her name is Darrow now. And my middle sister is Prudence. We call her Prudy Capovilla.
Okay. And did your mother work when you were growing up, or was she
No, she was a stay-at-home cook. She was always in the kitchen. I mean, we canned all our peaches and fruit, made jam, she made sauce. She was really a home person, and made our own bread. In fact, she taught me to make bread, and I made good bread when she was there to say a little of this, a little of that, a little more kneading. But without her, my bread wasn't that good.
Okay.
But we all took part, and all had to help out in the kitchen. We all had our duties.
Good.
Most of my sisters helped with the cooking. I did wash the vegetables, set the table. So I'm not the cook they are, but I cook okay, but not like they do.
Right. Okay. Well, how did you celebrate holidays?
Well,
like Christmas?
There was always food. No, I don't remember Christmas trees until I was in my teens, I think. We couldn't afford much. We were really, we suffered with that depression, but I remember being happy, but we didn't, there wasn't a lot of gifts or anything.
Sure. And during the summers? I'm sorry?
A lot of food and cookies.
Okay, good. That's okay.
My mother did a lot of that.
Yeah, well, being a homemaker, that's good. Would you go on vacations, maybe little ones during the summer?
I don't remember any vacations. I think the most I did was go up to Fresno with my dad during the summer. We got to ride up with him
Okay.
to pick fruit or get fruit
Right.
or however. I don't remember how we got it all.
Were you religious?
Oh yes, we're Catholic.
Okay. So you went to,
I went to regular schools, but catechism.
Okay,
Always
good.
Catechism every Saturday. We made our communion, confirmation, all those.
right. Okay. So do you want to tell us a little more about junior high, or do you want to move on to high school?
I don't really have much else to say other than not
Mhm.
anything important in junior high. It was school was never easy for me. I liked some of those subjects, but I was never a great student. I was just okay.
Okay. So tell us about high school. Where did you attend?
I went to Fremont High, and it would be in 1941, February. I was in a winter class, so we had A, Bs then.
Right.
So I started in the winter. And of course, we all know December 7th, 1941, we had the war
Right.
broke out. I remember we were in church, and we heard the news, and we all ran home to put the news on. We were so scared.
I see.
And everything changed immediately. The next day we went to school, like Asian people were gone, the Japanese, nothing, and we didn't know what had happened. We were never told or informed that they were sent to camps.
Right.
That was difficult.
Did you have any friends that were
Oh,
Japanese?
yes, oh yeah. Nice girls.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, there was so much patriotism back there with that war. We did a lot for the war effort, paper drives, can drives. Everything was centered on the war.
Right.
And from a
Right.
class of over 600, we were under 200 when we graduated.
Mm-hmm.
So many of the boys had left to go in the service
Sure.
or to work. So that was difficult, but I was so fortunate to get on drill team. That's the happiest memories I have in school. And we did a lot of, I guess, stage work has always been my thing. I like being in a costume, or I have some drill team pictures that are, I brought in some books from school too,
Yeah.
but I thought I had that right on top. Oh, yeah, this is our flag drill. We did a lot of flag drilling. We made different
Right.
letters or whatever, but we did a lot of pom-poms too, but mostly flag drills.
Okay.
And I think there's some in the album too. This is an album from the early part,
Was it like the annual?
the annual, and this is what we graduated with.
Oh, good.
That's how we had to set back on everything. Everything was cut back. We didn't have as many goodies, but high school was good. Our prom was in the gym. We didn't have anything special, no gowns or beautiful flowers or anything. But anyway, we got through. But I don't know where. Anyway, there were some more drill team pictures in here.
Okay. You can look at the break,
Okay.
find them.
All right.
But show us other pictures if you'd like. Or
Well-
you want to continue the...
Yeah, this was one of the best ones I
Right.
had. I'm up here in the front somewhere, up here. But I remember how exciting that was the very first time. We drilled, we were out, it was during football halftime. And we were out on the street waiting for our cue to come onto the field. And when we first heard that drum roll, it was the most exciting moment. It was just it was just, I can't explain, it was just wonderful.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was the high point of my high school years. My parents, I didn't mention, were very strict, extremely strict, no boys. We had a lot of girlfriends over, but we couldn't hang out as they do today, so to speak. We just
Or go on a date
no,
in high school?
No dating.
Right.
And everything was arranged. And my father brought all the Italian customs here with him, and very protective of his girls. We always wished we'd had brothers, so we could have maybe gotten out a little, because I loved to dance, and we used to practice with each other, trying to do the jitterbug. And if we'd go to weddings, Italian weddings were always very festive. And we'd always hope there were some boys there to dance with. And I learned to dance that way from other kids.
Good.
And when my sister got engaged, my sister, they couldn't go out alone, so they had to take the family, so to speak. And my brother-in-law used to cart us all to the big ballroom in Hollywood. I can't think what it's called.
What is it?
The big ballroom down.
Palladium?
Palladium, thank you. Yeah, and we had a ball. There were a lot of servicemen there then too, and that's when I really learned the jitterbug. And so I've always loved that, and that's how I met my first husband, at a dance, a wedding.
Now this is Adolf?
No.
No.
This is Ralph Mandela.
Okay.
We met at a wedding, and
Well, before we do that, let's finish high school.
okay.
Yeah, let's finish high school.
Okay.
So, any favorite classes in high school?
Well, I was in a vocational dressmaking course.
Okay.
Vocational dressmaking and design, and I really wanted to make a career of designing clothes. The sewing was good. We learned to make patterns and all, and I did like that, and I like science again. I enjoyed that. I don't remember enjoying too many of my other classes. They were too hard. I didn't like government. I still to this day don't understand government.
Okay.
But that was too difficult for me. But then I did take a drama class one year, but
Right.
Because of the war, we couldn't have any plays anymore. We just did some working class.
Okay.
But
Any special teachers you got close to?
I remember Mrs. Coe, my dressmaking teacher. In junior high, I remember Miss Gerber, who was the girls' glee club teacher. I've always loved her. And my drill team teachers,
Right.
Mrs. Wild. She was great. She was
Okay.
a tough gal, but boy, she was great. Yeah, and I remember them more than any of the others.
Okay.
And I belonged to GAA.
Now what is that?
That's the Girls Athletic Association.
Okay.
Sports after school.
Good.
So I was in the drill team in GAA. That was,
Right.
And
Well, would you say you were a popular girl?
well, somewhat. I was very friendly and outgoing with my friends. Very, very shy with adults or boys. We called
Okay.
them boys back then. I liked boys, but I was shy. Didn't get the chance to, associate
date,
with them
sure.
much. But yeah, because I've always been friendly. I love humor, laughter, and that attracts people, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, there's only a few of us left, but we have been in touch all these years, like 4 or 5 of us high school girls. When we all had our husbands, we used to get together for parties or whatever.
Sure.
So
When
we
was the
just-
last reunion you went to? High school.
I think it was the 50th year. We had a reunion at our class was so small.
Right.
Now that they had reunions, they used to combine them with other
Sure.
classes. But we had one at the Spruce Goose, remember, in Long
Yeah.
Beach? We had one there with the several classes. So that was big. But I don't remember, it was
Right. Well, what year did you graduate?
I graduated in 44.
Okay. So maybe in 2004? Was that one? The 50? No? It doesn't matter.
No,
It's okay.
I don't think it was that recent.
Okay.
But anyway, people change. I remember our football hero, Danny Brown, was so sought after by all the girls.
Mm-hmm.
He was our hero. He's good at it. He was football, track, everything. He was an all-around. But when I saw him, I didn't believe it. He was this old man. I
Yeah.
didn't know at all. He looked so different.
Well,
I mean, some people age gracefully, but he
Yeah.
did not. But anyway, it was kind of fun seeing everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the last reunion, and
Okay.
it's sad to see we have such a small class.
Sure. So you got to take care of yourself so you can be
Excuse me?
around. You have to take care of yourself
Oh yeah,
so you can be around.
yeah, that's important.
Okay, so did your summers change in high school? Did you go
I
to summer
worked.
school?
I always worked. I think the earliest I could get a job permit was 15, and I worked at Ralph's grocery store.
Oh,
It was the only Ralph's at that time in existence, and it was their motto was Ralph sells for less.
yeah. What'd you do?
I worked in the candy section.
Candy section. Uh-huh.
Candy counter. I don't think we didn't have bagged candy, and we had cigarettes and all. Cigarettes sold for 33 cents a pack. I remember that.
It's a lot more
for
now.
25 or something. Unbelievable. But I remember that. Anyway, I did that, and my sisters had worked there before me. My eldest sister, Mary, she was a scholar in our family. She had the brains, and she was always a good student. She was a very obedient person, period. Good scholar. So anyway, she was a cashier.
Right.
And my middle sister worked there. I don't know if she worked. I think she worked in the bakery. Everything in those days were
Right.
in departments. Nothing was packaged. The fruit counters, you had to ask for, I want 3 of these or 2 of those or a pound or whatever. And the meat counter, everything was in a
Mhm.
counter, the deli, and then in my department also. So anyway, well, that was fun. That was a fun job.
So those were during the
Okay.
summers.
My summers. And then the summer, let's see, the second, I think it must have been in the 11th grade. The summer I worked at Goodyear Tire and Rubber
Mhm.
Company. And they were making, I worked where they made some huge gas tanks. And there was a mold, and we had to cover them with rubber, 7 plies of rubber, had to pull it and stretch it and all. That was very interesting. Smelly. I smelled like I haven't when I left that place. But it was interesting. I've learned some. I've had so many different jobs. I've learned so much from all of them. And I remember one day, of course, we always had to pack a lunch. And my mother gave me lunch fare, car fare. We took buses, streetcars, walked, whatever. So that was quite a ways from home. So anyway, I remember one lunchtime I saw they had some candy bars for sale. And, oh, that one looked so good, or whatever. And I was so tempted, so I bought the darn thing. So of course I had to walk home 3 miles.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was worth it. It was so good. So anyway, but that was an interesting job, and met a lot of people. I liked the people thing. I loved working around, meeting new people.
Yeah, you're social. You're friendly.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
So, what did you do after you graduated from high school?
Well, then I went to work at not Douglas, Northrop. I worked on a line. I did some riveting and bucking. It takes 2 people to hit a rivet. I don't know if you know about riveting. One's on one side, one on the other. The bucker has to hold, so the metal will spread. I did that, and that was a 10-hour job. It was a long day.
Well, how'd you find the job?
I applied.
Wow.
And they were hiring, anyway, we had to wear the snoods, had our hair covered in overalls, all that. But that was very interesting. I learned, and you had to do, it was an assembly line, so you had your particular section to do. There's, I don't know how many rivets we had to, before the line moved. A whistle would blow and the line would move, and boy, you had to get that done before the line moved. They didn't wait for you. So it was dump, dump, dump until the line moved. So it was hard, steady work, but it was interesting.
And you did that Monday through Friday?
Excuse me?
Monday through Friday.
Yes,
it was full time. Do you remember what you were paid at the time?
No, I don't. I brought my paychecks home. I never cashed a paycheck.
Oh, you didn't. You
We
gave him.
all had to help the family,
Sure.
and that's it was really funny when I remember telling my daughter about that once. I said, you know, I never cashed a paycheck. This was the girl that did the work. She worked on the rivet or whatever. I did one and she did the other. We were partners.
I see.
Yeah. And here, they had a photography club there. And they asked me to model, which I did. So this was in the paper, the Northrop News.
Oh.
That was kind of fun. This was one of the pictures one of the photographers took. In fact,
So this was when you were about, what, 19, 20?
18.
18.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Um,
Great.
and I mean, during the war, I wrote to a lot of friends and my cousin, and he asked me if I sent a picture. This is the one I sent him,
Mm-hmm.
and one like it. They had a contest, and he wrote back and told me I won the contest.
See?
So I'm sure he didn't tell anybody I was his cousin. But that was kind of fun. But anyway, I did write to a lot of that, but that was, we were all thinking about our boys, you know, everybody writing,
Sure.
especially because they needed letters and packages and whatever we could send.
Right.
So as I said, we were very patriotic and very wanting to help,
Right.
whichever we could.
Let's take a break right here.
Sure.
Thank you. We're just about out of time. Thank you.